Hello YouTube and welcome to another episode of Let's Learn the Mods. Today we are going to be covering bees. I don't know how many episodes this will be, but I'm going to start now because I know there's a lot to cover. To start off, you need a hive. We'll take a forest hive and a scoop. Take us out of creative mode. If you hit that with a scoop, you'll get a forest princess, a forest drone, and a honeycomb. Sometimes it won't give you honeycomb, sometimes it won't give you drones. It just depends on how nice it wants to be. Over here, you can see we have a bee house and an apiary. The difference between a bee house and an apiary is you can't use frames in a bee house, and you can't automate a bee house. This is just to kind of get you started. Apiaries are a little more extensive to make, but you can use frames and you can automate this. So as you see, we got a couple meadows, a forest princess in here, and a common drone. So what we're going to do is actually breed the forest princess and a meadows drone. In here we have an oblivion frame, which is from Magic Bees. I find these a lot in Thaumcraft Hills, so if you want these, that's a good place to get them. What this does is it kills a bee after one tick, so if you're trying to get, say, a mutation branch, like a common drone, you can get that from using oblivion frames and kind of just speeding through it rather than waiting for them to die. All bees also require flowers nearby. Some bees require different things, like water bees I know require lily pads, and rocky bees require cobblestone. And this time, let's actually use a common drone. We'll see if we get lucky with that. You can identify traits from bees by putting honey drops in a beealyzer, taking out said bee, and we can see this is a meadows/forest hybrid. Its active trait is 2 fertility. All its stats are here. All its inactive stats are over here. So now we know all about that. Alright. Oh, seems we got it cultivated. That's interesting. So let's just combine that with a common. Alright, and just let that run. But what this does is, like I said, it just kills it off quickly, and it really won't produce anything. If you wanted to produce stuff, just remove the oblivion frame and just let it run, or you can keep the oblivion frame in. Now let's get started with the alvearies. I'll be back in a minute to explain about the alvearies. Okay, so to get started with an alveary, you need 27 alveary blocks in a 3x3x3 pattern. And then you need oak wood slabs across the top. Then when you complete all of that, your alveary should form. Come on. There we go. Alright. So you can actually remove parts and then add different parts in, and it'll reform. So, for example, we have the mutator here. I'll explain all these over here, actually. We got the alveary sieve. This allows you to breed trees a lot easier. It gets pollen from the trees around. You just need to provide woven silk constantly, so when you remove the pollen, it'll actually destroy the woven silk. So keep that in mind. You then got the rain shield, which allows your bees to work during rain. You got the fan, which reduces the temperature when provided MJ. So basically you can get like wintry bees in here. You got the heater, which increases the temperature by MJ, which allows like desert bees in here. The lighting, which allows them to work at night. You got the mutator. When provided a specific frame, or when provided a specific item, for example uranium, that'll increase the rate they mutate. You have the swarmer. What this will do is any bee that's inside here will actually kind of just come out here and eventually create a hive somewhere at a random position nearby. And when you harvest the bees from there, you get the princess and the drone. But they're unstable, so they will eventually completely die off. No matter what you try to do, they will completely die off. And then you have the hydro regulator, which which allows you to adjust the humidity, allowing for like lower humidities for bees such as the desert bees, and higher humidities such as for the jungle bees. You just need to provide water into this. You can use the aqueous accumulator on this. Alright, I'll be back in a minute and I'll explain a couple more things about mutations. Okay, so to get started with mutations, you basically, it's kind of a guesswork on how to get each mutation. That, or you could refer to a guide online. If you Google that, that'll help you out. As I said before, keep combining and eventually you'll get like different mutations and whatnot. I'd advise trying to get a purebred of each one of these types. Eventually you're going to run into a situation where you're just going to have a ton of these bees. So to remedy that, we can use this thing called an apiarist chest, which only stores bees, but it has a ton of pages. And there is another item that you can use called the indexer. This is from Extra Bees. This is basically infinite storage for your bees. You will never run out of space in here. So, yeah, that basically covers most of the bees other than mutation. As you can see, we got a common princess and common drone, and eventually this will be purebred. Yeah, that covers all the bees I wanted to do. Basic non-automated. I'll cover that in a later episode, but I hope this was an informative video, and I'll see you all later.